There we go. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So it is almost 3 o'clock for me in Hawaii, which, by the way, I have to tell you that watching college football on a Saturday in Hawaii is the weirdest thing that I have ever dealt with.
Right when you wake up.
Well, it's right when you wake up, and then when you're trying to watch the game at a bar, they're like force feeding you to drink at 8 a.m. It's very.
To go to a bar, they're gonna want you to drink.
I know, but where else are you going to watch the football game? I mean,
So what'd you drink?
I what?
What'd you drink today?
You still drink.
I've had I think 3 Moscow Mules, and then I was like, look, you got to just start putting Sprite in there so everybody else thinks I'm drinking, but we can't keep this up. Not all day. Not all day. So anyways, it is day 2 of Team Safari. And how did it go? Like, initial thoughts right off the bat. Like, give me your best.
It was good. It was good. We're sore walking down like day 2.
My body
you're carrying
hurts.
down, you're like, hip flexors. What are those? Like parts hurt that don't normally hurt. We had weather was good. Like, so we had a good start. Like, I think we got an 8 on the first. It was a 1x6. I missed one. We shot tripod, right? Like kneeling tripod or something like that. And I missed one of them. Yeah, so no, it was good. We had a good start. The next one, we probably reverted a little bit. Not bad, but just probably took too long to shoot. And then kind of recovered, I think, after that, and did fairly good. I think it might have been I was going to go back and look at our last 2-year scores. It had to be significantly better.
Yeah, I think
so. We went 8, 5, which wasn't great. 6, which is another one, I think.
It was the time thing. The second and third stages, we were struggling to get me shooting faster and not giving him enough time to shoot. So the problem, I think, early on was it's such a different view. So finding targets is just harder on that side. So we kind of struggled getting back into a groove of.
There's not a lot of physical marks out there on the sky on south.
Hold on.
But
oh yeah, we're recording. Just making sure.
Yeah, it's been recorded. We had something pop up, but there's not as many like physical markers that look out until you get probably halfway through on the south, because it's just rocks and bushes. There wasn't a whole bunch of stuff.
And bushes, and they all look exactly the same. So
yeah,
I was struggling to get on targets quick enough and stressing him out because he's only given,
I might have yelled once or twice, like "fuck," but it wasn't too bad.
I'm so sorry.
You answered my first question by what stage were you on today? So you're on the south stage, and people can look at the south stage traditionally as either one of their favorites, because I mean, let's be honest, a lot of the targets, for most of the south, you're just shooting across basically a valley, right?
Yep.
And as long as the wind is consistent, then the biggest challenge is just finding the targets. But the wind typically likes to stay the same. But then you have other people who just have a horrible time on the south, whether it's the shadows and how the targets blend into the terrain really well. So it sounds like you guys started off really well, and then you had a little bit of a down.
We just had a hiccup for the second. Really, it was the second one, and then the third. We still got there. It was just 10 seconds, literally. Just 10 seconds more, probably would have got another hit. And then I had one then we got a clean on number 4. Number 5 was a 7. I missed one with wind, and I also missed my first shot with the wrong dope. I had 1-7 dialed, needed 2-1. I was like, oh shit, and then hit the red.
For anybody that watched yesterday's episode, one of our first questions is, did you bring enough rifle ammo today?
I only put rifle ammo in the backpack today. No pistol left my hotel room. Wasn't gonna need. But yeah, plenty of ammo, all the ammo, and which was good for the most part, though, except for a couple stages. We got off all our shots. Like I said, we got a 7 on one where I dialed the wrong dope and I missed one off the side. We got another 7 on number 7, which is up at the top of the hill, right? That's the so that one we're basically clean on the left side. That one timed out, but shit, like it was the far targets. I hit one of the ones.
Hit a bush.
Hit one of the ones on the right. Yeah, like 5 seconds left. It kind of shot through a bush, just prayer and hope, and didn't. And then had one more target there, but still, by at least compared to the field on our side, a 7 there was pretty solid. Like the guys in front of us, I think, got a 2 between 2 guys.
Yeah, that stage either eat your lunch or you do really well on it, because some of the times the targets that and the way that they find ways to hide targets out there, it can be difficult. So a 7 sounds legit.
Even the closer targets on the left, when I was telling, Vanessa, I always seem to struggle because they just hide them well over there. They just do. The other ones you kind of get, hey, there's a big spread for a reason. Like the guys behind us were like, hey, yeah, you've shot this before. You kind of know they're over there. I'm like, yeah, you know how they're over there? When you walk up, you see a black strap at about 500 yards. Like you can see it like your 30-yard walk up. I'm like, hey, there is some truth that you might have an idea of, hey, there could be some way over on the right. But when they give you a left and right limit that's 12 feet apart on the ground, it's going to tell you, hey, looking, I haven't seen the competition dynamics guys don't do that really to fuck with you a whole lot. I've seen some hunter ones wherever it's like, oh, it's way over there, and they're not. Here it's like that, but more importantly, you can literally see the strap if you're looking by your eyes. At least I could. So that one, I thought a 7 was good. Basically, it was just one miss, the one through the tree, and I timed out. So, and then the last stage is similar to where it's always been, just a different shooting position with some down in the field, and then there's like the road in the back. Yeah. And then it moved one. I feel in the past there've been like 3. Actually, they moved a couple of them, but there used to be like 3 on the back road and 3
they
at
have
the
their
field.
Patterns, right? They always have their patterns.
There was no pattern on this one.
He found 5, and I was like, I'll look for the 6 while you're shooting. So he's shooting, and I'm looking, and we found 3 in a row up, and then 2
on the back road.
And I'm like, the third one's got to be somewhere in there. So I'm scanning back and forth. I'm like, it's got to be in here. There's the third is going to be on this side.
Spoiler alert: it wasn't back there. It was to the left. What? It was to the left of one of the close targets, like at 360. I'm like, so I missed
your thing. Like, there. Even if she would have found it, would she have been able to range it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
I see that little smirk on your face. She would have been able to range. It would have had all the numbers on there.
Actually, tell you what, he would have been able to range it because it was right across from another one.
Honestly, if I would have seen
Vanessa,
I got my 3.
She got her 3.
Yeah, but she doesn't know what those numbers mean inside the binos.
No, but
if he had his dope for one of the other targets, he could have used the same dope right across.
It was literally, it might have been 8 yards farther, and we're talking 360, 370. It wouldn't matter.
And I might have been on my binos at that point, so.
Yeah. She means my binos.
Well, his binos that I'm using.
But no, literally it was.
I realized that everything I have, none of it belongs.
The guys before us and the guys after, nobody saw that target, because you're used to literally like a pattern. Like, hey, there's 3, like an inverted L. That's kind of how it was planned. But instead of the L, there was one little one. It was like a little up inverted T.
Like, he's gonna kill me when he sees how close it was.
Yeah, because I missed one of those dinky targets out there at 5 something.
Like, I don't want to shoot that far.
Yeah, it would have been good.
So
no, but it was good.
From yesterday to today, what do you think the biggest things that you guys felt you needed to work on?
Time management, but it wasn't even so much wasting time. It was locating, for me, it was locating targets, because he would find them. I think there was a communication issue a little bit on stage 2, because I would find a target and then he would find a different one and say, come here, look in my binos. So I was getting kind of like, I found this one, but he found that one. So now I'm like going back and forth between like, which one am I starting
Once with? I thought she was on the middle and I was showing her the left, and she was on the right, thinking it was the middle. Just one of those things kind of deal. Like, all right, just crossed up. That really only happened
And
at
I
one
think I
time.
took a shot. Oh, there was a stage where you thought I shot a different one. You were like, because I couldn't find the third target. And I was still on my rifle, and he's like, "You already shot it." And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's like, you already
"No,
should
I
go
never
back."
found the third one." But he thought I was already on it. I was like, "I never found it." And he's yelling at me like, "You already shot it." And I was, "You already,
Yeah,
you're
how
already
can you?
on it." I'm
Yeah,
like,
how could you
"I
not
wasn't
find
on
it?
it."
You already found it once. Like, just it's left. It's just left.
Shoot.
But that was
Shoot.
really that was just stage
That was
2
the
and
start of the
3.
day, yeah.
And then, like I said, after that, you know, I'm pretty good at yelling at her and then fucking up with the dope on the next one. So it worked out.
So what do you think the best, if you could describe your best stage today, what would it sound like?
The one clean one, it would sound good.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, there was like 9 of those. No, there was a 2x3 where you shoot off of a sloped rock from the back position. You can do prone or off a low tripod, and you got to run up, you know, run down the hill, I don't know, 15 yards in front. The next stake there is in front of like literally a 7-8 foot wide bush that's 5 feet tall. So you know off the bat, like, hey, we're gonna need a tripod there. So she dropped down and shot the prone, and I do that. And she's like, hey, you know, like, we're gonna need a tripod up there. So she's getting the tripod ready for standing height. I think we just took the one that I was spotting off of.
You took that one.
Yeah. And so we hit the 3 there, then ran up down there, and it was like we might have had 2 minutes left. So I'm like, give me the other tripod. So I did basically rear tripod with the tripod on the front, because we hadn't had it clean yet, and we had literally, I think there was like 2 minutes. So I'm like, all right, hey, just 3 shot, we're gonna do it and just clean and
Do it
we
right.
ended up clean, use all the time up instead of rushing. Cause like she's using my other tripod, and you know, you got the anvil head, right? Like the one on mine, you only have to turn it to like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and it's tight. The older one that she's using on mine that I haven't used forever, you have to close it all the way around where it's almost giving you a reach around on the left side. So earlier in the day, I was doing high kneeling off of that, and I'm like, it's not getting tight. So I took a couple shots that probably I shouldn't have. You know, the one miss I had, and I got lucky on another hit just because there was more wobble, because I didn't want to reach all the way over around and pull it out. But I think that one was, I mean, that was the only one that was clean, and we communicated well, because it's like, hey, we need a tripod, bring another one up here, and all that. I think just one.
No,
No, we got 2.
like,
That was what I was talking about. There must have been another one that had to be a 2x3. Lots of 2x3s. Today was 1x6, 5 2x3s in a row, and then 2 1x6s to finish out.
What do you think was the most challenging position that you guys found yourself in?
you were. No, you went. Oh, you got a sitting tripod. I got the sitting tripods for you on that one rock where that guy tried to go prone, but we got the rock that was the second position up front. He ended up sitting down on the rock.
Oh yeah, there was
But-
one where like the tripod's down below, you could sit on that.
Yeah, he sat.
The position today, I don't think
It was fine. Everything was.
there was nothing that was super awkward.
I
You know,
think I
sometimes they'll have the tripod leg in between 2 rocks.
Yeah.
That one wasn't there. I
I
don't
think
think there's a
so.
whole lot. It was more, you had to shoot over some bushes, so there was some high
Yeah.
kneeling or standing.
I think I shot off a tripod when I probably could have gone prone.
Yeah,
But I was already there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here. I'm not gonna waste time getting prone if I'm already in this position.
same. The one I missed
Just in
on the
case.
first one was like that, because we did high kneeling, and then you're kind of done. You're like, you know, probably could have shot it prone,
Mm,
but it's one of those things. You're like, you know what? You got a minute and a half left. Like, we know this works, so I'm just going to shoot on what was there.
Yeah.
You know, in a different world or different time, maybe you take the time and do it. But yeah,
We were
I
just
would.
trying to get our groove back.
Yeah, and I don't think the positions, there was nothing crazy.
Yeah.
You had to shoot tripod on 8 for the close target, you know, shooting straight down the canyon, kind of at that 500 or whatever. But everything else up there, we shot prone, the 3
Mhm.
on the left. Yeah, I mean, just fair amount of tripod and some prone, wasn't too bad.
So what, in regards to atmospheric conditions, you guys started earlier than yesterday. So just from doing this match previous years, and you guys have done it, you always know that different times of the day are going to mess with you differently. You got early morning. Everybody likes early morning because it typically is less wind, right? Not always, but sometimes you get blessed with like 0 wind, and as the temperature picks up, so does the wind. But then you also deal with like that early morning time where the sun is at a weird angle, so there's shadows being casted, targets are hidden harder because of the shadows. Whereas if you start later in the day, the more, the sun's higher up above you, so the targets are illuminated in a different angle. So how do you guys feel about the time that you started, and what were some of the challenges with dealing with sunlight, wind, or just the general conditions outside?
We had great weather.
Yeah,
It
so
was really overcast, so the clouds kind of covered any brightness or sun shining or hiding, or there weren't really any shadows to
I'm
worry
normally
about.
worried about it on the south too, because
Yeah.
if at least in the regular steel safari, the Earth's at a different angle, the dangle with the sun. So the sun was kind of off. If you were pointed at directly south, it was probably at like 10 o'clock. So instead of coming straight up in your face, it was at an angle, because that's really the south. I'm like, fuck, I hate shooting that one when it's the morning, because either the sun's in your face, or because of it, the shadows or whatever, they're hard as hell to see. And it wasn't that bad. We had like an 8:45 or something, 8:30 start, 9:30. No, whatever.
7:30.
7:30. It wasn't bad. And it was overcast up until the last 2 stages. So the wind was down. I think one of the far ones was like 0.6, and that was on number 7.
There was one wind call because I didn't have to give him a whole lot today, and the one time I did, he was like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't go with that one.
I feel like it was a little more.
Yeah.
You hit whatever you hit.
Yeah.
No, you miss, you don't. That's when you don't need to phone.
Yeah, but then I'm like, I'm not going to use that for or whatnot. So, but literally, it was more. I don't think it ever got over 6 miles an hour today versus 12 yesterday, which means we're going to get fucked with the 18 or whatever tomorrow.
That's all.
The weather wasn't bad. It was actually probably the most pleasant one I've been to. And obviously the June one's fucking hot, but hasn't been bad until, like I said, until what we might be seeing tomorrow.
So aside from what you think you're going to encounter tomorrow, right? The weather prediction tomorrow is rain, wind, which I was telling Vanessa earlier, like, don't stress about it. If you're dealing with it, everybody else has got to deal with it too. So not accounting for what you think the weather is going to bring you tomorrow, what are you going to improve or do different tomorrow that you learned today? Like, typically by day 3, everybody has gotten better because they have failed at something. Like, you've had some type of backset or problem that happened, but you learn from it. And by day 3, things are just clicking. So what do you guys think tomorrow will be something that you are trying to improve on, or something that will just happen naturally and improve on because this is the final day?
But no, I think we'll probably maintain, I don't want to say we'll change, but make sure our focus is like, all right, hey, there's 2 targets, there's 1 target, start shooting. Because there's lots of 2x3s, I think, until I think it's a 1x6 to start. And there's like 5 2x3s almost, I don't want to say in a row, but a lot. So for that, it's a lot easier for, hey, find 1 and I'll find 2, versus when it's a 1x6 and just saying find 1. There's maybe more going on with, I got to make sure I'm ranging 6 of them while I'm trying to give her dope for 2 of them, or not dope, give her distance for the other 2 she's got to shoot, and kind of keep going. So we'll probably try to make sure, like, all right, we got 1 right now, go ahead, because it worked out well for us yesterday. Even our score was better today, though. But I think that just, I think it helps the whole process, maybe give me a chance to not rush the last shot or something along those lines. And then it also helps well when she's done that quick to, like, hey, tripod over there and all that kind of stuff.
Get set up.
Because she was ready, tripod in hand, if I had to go run somewhere else. Like, after I started my first couple shots. She's
Although
like,
at
"What
one
do you need?
point
Where you going?"
I was holding his tripod waiting for him. He's like, "Where'd that spin?" I was like, "I'm not watching."
Yeah, I was like, "That's spin left or right."
I can help.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, so, but I mean, I think that really not let the weather, I mean, it is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
we're already like, hey, tomorrow looks like you're, if it's what it is in full value, you're 5 times your distance for your win.
5 or
That's
6
just,
times. I'm
that's just
like,
what it is.
I'm gonna practice my multiplication by 6.
You know? So,
Yeah.
and then just dealing with it, because like you said, everybody's dealing with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it, who knows? We're in the desert. It could change in the next, 3 hours. We could wake up and the sun could be out there. But just trying to be prepared. Stuff I've learned from shitty matches, not shitty, just shitty weather matches. Like, hey, I've got my rifle cover and I've got a backpack cover that's waterproof. That's going to be her rifle cover, and we'll take that shit off when we go to shoot. Not walking up, not filling the scope up with water, all that kind of stuff. And then try to clean up what you can. Like, we're both gonna throw a handheld from the hotel in a bag in the backpack, because you know what it is, you get mud and stuff on there and you don't want to start wiping your glass off. Shit just happens. So
Yeah.
just trying to be prepared and not let that be a big deal. I probably need to remember to keep my bolt forward, when walking around and that kind of stuff afterwards, just to keep shit dry and just kind of deal with it, because if it's what it's supposed to be, it's going to suck. But that being said, to me, some of this shit is like, well, when it sucks, it's also fun. There's memories. You're like, oh, dude, you remember 60 mile an hour? We got, you hit that target at 600. Who the fuck? You haven't done that before. I haven't done that before. So just another challenge. Just, we're not going to quit or anything like that.
Yeah, just another challenge. But I do remember in the team chat, before you guys left, you had sent a screenshot of what the weather was going to look like. So I'm really curious of one, I know that Vanessa had a checked bag that was overweight, right? So you guys just started stuffing shit in this bag because you're already paying the price for an overweight bag. You might as well fill it up.
I told him, I looked over and my rain jacket's hanging there and I was like, it's not gonna rain. I'm not bringing as we were throwing stuff in that bag, I'm like, you might as well just, I was gonna bring a curling iron too, but I was
no rain gear or curling iron.
So here you are sending me a picture of this fabulous double XL rain jacket that you happen to pick up from Tractor Supply.
It is actually a medium,
it's
though, right?
Medium.
It is a medium that big. It's like a medium.
People are big out here.
Medium triple X.
My hands, like you can see the tips of my fingers barely.
So she's gonna have that. Then I have my like Kuiu rain gear pants, which are gonna be my size, but they have a cinch up belt. So she's gonna have to like roll up her pants, because my other Kuiu pants are basically brand new and they're water resistant. So I'll wear those and she can wear those, and and her poncho.
So what you're saying is we're gonna have a really epic photo of Vanessa tomorrow.
Oh yes.
I bought a pair of rain pants once and I've never worn them. I've never taken them with me anywhere.
All the rain.
I only shoot in beautiful weather.
Fair weather.
So yeah, we'll see.
She said I might need a partner for tomorrow.
So aside from the rain pants and the freshly purchased rain jacket, I know you guys talked about what the weather's going to be and how you're going to try and battle that. So talk to me a little bit about your beer koozie idea.
Well, we couldn't find any beer koozies. So the beer koozie idea was just a scope cover, so when you're walking around, you're not getting the objective full of water, kind of deal, especially if you have to scopes up or whatever, if you're going to the first position, which generally they are, rifles barrel up for the most part and deal with dumping water out or whatnot. But we couldn't find any. So I think we're going to revert to, like I said, I've got my rifle cover that'll be on mine until we shoot. And then I've got a backpack cover that we'll put over her gas gun as needed. But worst case scenario, we've got our Pedialyte bottles. I was thinking about cutting the neck off of that and throw it over the scope, just an on and off kind of deal. Just enough so it's not, because I've shot in the rain a few times, it sucks. Sometimes it sucks if there's water everywhere. It's even worse when it's on the ocular. But that one, I've got a scope cap, but I don't think you do, right? Yeah, so it is what it is.
So for this match in particular, all the previous years that I've shot it, I don't want to say every year, but I've had probably 1 or 2 years where something has happened with the function of the gear that I'm using. Like 1 year, my damn game changer ripped on a tree, and I didn't notice it until I went to go use it, and all the sand had dumped out from one stage to the next. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Another time, the extractor broke on my bolt, and this was early. This is probably 2014 or something like that. So I spent the entire time shooting one and then punching out the piece of brass with the cleaning rod and then getting back down behind my rifle and shooting. So you always run into these issues, and it doesn't mean that the gear you're using is bad. It just means shit breaks, and it doesn't always happen at the opportune time. So did you guys have any gear issues, whether it's rifle, optic, tripod, anything where you're like, well, this is fucking convenient, I wish this wouldn't happen right now? Or has it been so far pretty clean?
And knock on wood, it's been all right.
Yeah, I don't think anything's been
No,
functioning.
everything's been fine. You
Right.
fucking fishy motherfucker.
Question was that?
I just wanted, should I save that for day 3?
I feel like you break shit. We're trying not to.
I never intentionally break stuff. It just happens. All right. So you guys had a assault stage today, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. You knew what was coming. You just didn't know what faces would be out there. But I want to know, did the practice and did the familiarization that you guys did last night, did it help today? And how do you feel about the score you got?
Yeah, absolutely.
It did. It helped a lot.
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like when we used to do the, hey, walk Russ on to that, bush in the middle of the field or whatnot. It was like that. It was just, it's a practice test or whatnot. Like, okay.
It also helped that we were like, okay, when we're describing the right and left side of the face, like we're talking about the pictures, like the right side of the picture or the left, you know what I mean?
And we didn't screw that up.
When you're
We just
looking at
decided,
people, 'cause
like,
I heard other people saying like his left side
Yeah,
or his right side.
it's his
So
right
we
part.
clarified all that before we even went in. Like, this is what we mean when we say right. The hair's parted on the right.
yeah,
Like,
it was, if it was parted on the right, it was actually the
Picture.
guy's left, but we weren't going to do it. And we did hear a lot of guys like,
Mhm.
it's a part on the right. Oh, well, it's
His
my
left.
right, but it's his left. And we're like, last night, we're like, nope, it is what you're looking at. If it's on the right of the picture, I'm calling that, that kind of deal. No, but it was good. Our score, we got 3. So if you miss, it's a -1. Like if you hit the wrong steel target or whatever, it's a -1. If you miss all the steel, there's nothing negative on it. But we got a 3. I think the high score yesterday was a 7. I think Josh and Cody got a 4 today.
5 - 1.
A couple other guys got 2s. I looked at the scores just from yesterday. There were 7 teams with a -1. So 7 guys missed enough targets that they got they ended up negative somehow. Bunch of zeros. So I wouldn't say we're mid-pack with the 3. We're probably, I don't know, 70% range or somewhere, respectable for what was out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Vanessa, are you still a steel target slayer today that you were yesterday?
A steel target slayer.
Yeah, you were just slaying them yesterday, first round.
Did I miss it?
Bang, bang, bang. Russ, it's your turn.
I was doing pretty good. I don't think I went through like a full mag. Like yesterday, there were 2 stages, the long distance, but I think there were 2 stages. I went through a lot of rounds. This one, I may have taken 10 shots on one stage, but everything else was like 1 or 2 misses, if that, or was first round impacts.
There was if she missed, it would generally hit on the second shot. I think I remember maybe once you took 5 shots at a little ass diamond in front of a bush where you just can't
where I
left, more
like
left.
10 shots,
Yeah, but after that it was either first round or second round. Yeah, no, just as good as yesterday.
That means that you're seeing your impacts, you're making adjustments. It's like you're growing up before our eyes, Vanessa.
Somebody asked me today, like, are you shooting a 223? Would you do that again? I was like, so far it's working. And I think it's just, we'll see tomorrow with the extra wind, but even yesterday we had some wind, and I was holding a bunch. So yeah, I mean,
most of the
223 is small,
guys,
but it works.
most of the guys, or at least the top guys, are all shooting 6.5.
Yeah.
Some guys are probably shooting 6, but Cody Hartsock shooting with Josh Reeves, he's shooting a 223. So there's
just not as many of them, but
yeah.
I think 223 is the way to go, to be honest with you. I know that the South course, there's not a lot of distance associated with the South course, not like there is with the West and the North, right? Some of those stages on the West and the North, you have targets that'll punch out to 700 or 800. Honestly, the distances aren't that great for the entire thing. Everything's very manageable, but the South course, I want to say, the last stage, or maybe, the last couple stages, you might have some targets that are out in the 6 to 650 range.
Yeah.
So my question is not, did you hit the far targets, Russ, but did you miss any 200-yard targets today?
Not 200. I think I missed a 325 where I had the wrong dope dial.
That's all right. As long as you didn't miss another 200, it sounds like.
Yeah, no.
You don't have anything to be
going with that.
Upset about.
Your hand's dotted, so it's this way.
We're looking at this. We're on the opposite side that we are in the room. It's not.
We're flipped.
I look in front of me and I see Vanessa, and I'm over on the other side of the screen. Is what it looks like. We're doing this stuff on the screen. But yeah, no, I did not take a shot at a 200-yard target in this today. Thanks for reminding me.
Well, I'm just trying to keep that fresh in your mind.
You talked about improvements that we're going to work on today. Was if there were 6 targets, I was going to range 6 targets if I could find them. Not think it's a 2x3 like I did yesterday, when I thought it was just 2x3, and I went to go move, and they're like, "Hey, what about the other 3 targets?" I was like, "What about the other 3 targets? Probably should try and find those and probably range them."
Where are those?
Yeah, so that didn't happen today. Won't happen tomorrow either.
That's probably one of the best things about this competition, is that if you're doing it right, if you're looking at what went wrong, how do I get better? How do I improve? Like, I don't want to make that same mistake. Like, we always talk about failures are what force us to learn the most, right? And what's awesome about this match is that everybody's having some kind of mistakes or issues or doing something that's causing them to lose points, right? But by day 3, you're wishing that there was another day or 2 to go, because you're seeing and feeling that progression happen so much. Are you guys feeling it?
Yeah, you kind of hit that stride a little bit. Like I said, we had a hiccup or whatever today, but we still got 3 better than yesterday. And yesterday was one of our better. I mean, we've only shot it twice before. Like I said, I was going to go through and see, what our impacts were in previous years. I mean, I kind of remember what place we were like the first time and the second time, and then we moved up and all that. But I'd like to see our points, because there's some solid teams here this year too. And, I was going through just, hey, how do we compare? We were 4th on the West yesterday out of our group. Who knows after everybody else is done, but out of our group. And some of the top guys are guys that place top 3, top 5, all that. Not that we're there, but we were at least 4th out of that. Like, the guys in front of us were guys that are probably going to be in front of us,
all 3 days.
Yeah, all 3 days kind of deal. So, and then today, I don't know, but we shot better than yesterday. Like I said, we left a couple out there, but the 7 on number 8, the 7 on number 7, I think are good numbers, especially on 7. There were guys not finding targets on the right. And everybody that couldn't find the one that Vanessa and I couldn't find on 8, I don't know about everybody, but 4 squads never saw that kind of deal. So they didn't see that target either. So I feel those are competitive numbers, if that makes sense. We didn't give up stuff to the field on those ones.
Well, You guys are doing pretty good. The scores look good. The way you guys are talking is good, right? And I would just say for tomorrow, from my point of view, which I'm going to ask you guys, from my point of view, where do you think I see people fail on the last day? What do you think is the biggest killer on the final day of this competition, whether it's the individual match or it's the team match? What do you guys think?
What do we think you think it is?
Yeah.
Or what? Let's see, you think weird.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I look at it.
I want to say fatigue, but I don't think you think fatigue. Confidence?
Either confidence or putting more pressure on because it's the last day and you want to get better. Something along those lines.
It's the last day. You may have shot really well for day 1, day 2, and then day 3, the wind picks up, something goes wrong. The mental side just starts eating away at you. And before you know it, you're just causing problems one after the other, right?
Right.
That's where I see good shooters on day 3 take a dive, because the mental side of it will start to eat at them. And it's happened to me. I'm not impervious to it. I could get in my own head and start thinking about like, oh, I should have done this better. Or start overthinking or second guessing my win calls. Like that shit can happen. So for you guys tomorrow, no matter what happens on a stage, make sure you remember to wipe that slate clean. Remember what you're there and what you've been doing thus far, and just get after it all over again at the next one.
Yeah, I look at tomorrow really as it's 8 matches. I mean, it's over. Like the next stage is like the next weekend. It's not, oh, we got to do this better or whatever. I mean, we talk about stuff after each stage for the most part. We don't talk about it when we clean, like besides giving some knuckles. Like, yeah, we're fucking awesome. We don't.
We're fucking good.
But
check that shit out.
But yeah, it's like, golf or competition or whatever. Dude, you get like 10 seconds to be angry about your last shot. If you walk up to the next one, thinking about the last one, it's going to be just as bad. Like, it's over. Okay, what can you get better? All right. We can do anything that we need to do tomorrow. I mean, at the end of the day, for, 72 shots, no. But we're going to hit targets. We're going to figure out the wind. We're going to get positions. We're going to communicate. We're going to be fine. Part of our stuff that we kind of need to worry about a little bit. And once again, who knows how crazy the rain's going to be, or if it's not, or all that shit, is some of the safety stuff. When you're getting shooting position up on the top of the canyon, you got to go down, down a slope or something. Some of that, hey, we got to be aware of. That shit's going to be slippery. We're also going to have to be comfortable shooting prone in mud and water. Like, I mean, it just fucking is what it is. But if anything that I'd be worried about, it's kind of like, hey, it's going to be slippery and gravelly, and that red dirt can kind of turn into clay, so you get clay and gravel and rock. So there's going to be some issues there, especially shooting tripod on some of the downhill off the rock stuff. That might be something like, hey, hold the leg of the tripod, like grab the bottom of this or something, because it might get a little slippery. Like, hey, do me a favor, put your hands on this tripod, that kind of stuff. And I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Well, hey, sounds good. I think you guys are doing awesome. I'm predicting the top 10 right now.
Stop. Fuck.
Top 10.
Nah, ain't gonna happen.
I'm just saying. I feel it. I feel it here, right here, deep.
Okay, we've been. I'm all down for it, but like we were 37th the first time we shot this, and then got into maybe 29th or something last year.
No, last year was higher than that.
Was it?
It was like 27.
Yeah, 20, might be 27 or somewhere around there. That's a big jump, and we are shooting better, but I'm not. There's some good shooters. So there are some good teams that, like, I don't know if we could literally clean tomorrow, which we haven't done, and be top 10. I don't. If we did, maybe towards the end. I just don't. Like, we're giving up 6-8 shots, on the top guys. There was guys with 68s, 65s, 69, something like that. Yeah, so there's some ones, but
I don't disagree with you. I typically feel like the top 5 is all kind of in that range, right?
Yeah.
Where 65 up to 72, which is the max points, is kind of where your top 5 guys fall.
Right.
Then it just starts to tear off after that. So I'd be willing to say that I think that you guys are performing, at least on the field courses, in a top 10 or top 15 level. I feel that, right? You got a 55, a 58. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? But like I said, everybody's going to be dealing with the same shit that you are. So if you guys are having issues with wind, so is everybody else. I think the biggest thing it's going to come down to is the assault stages. And it doesn't sound like you guys did too bad on those. So I wouldn't be surprised to see you guys finishing pretty well. I'm excited to see how tomorrow pans out.
Yeah, I mean, generally we shoot in a lot of wind. I mean, at your range or whatever, just being out west, it's normally a fair amount of wind. Vanessa shoots in it a lot. It's just a lot when we're going to be, oh shit, it's 5 mils or whatever. And once again, it's just a number. There's nothing to that. And hopefully that will help if we do well as a separator. Like, oh, because literally we just gotta have the mindset, like, whatever, the fucking window's down, like, or whatever. It is what it is. But if we focus on all that shit, it doesn't do any good. But I think we historically the last few years have shot in a fair amount of wind. The only hard side is, I mean, you shot here plenty of time. There's not a lot of indicators out there.
No,
There's not a lot of trees. The bushes don't move.
So if
you know.
everything's wet, is that gonna be harder to spot impacts?
well, I will tell you this. I don't know if it's much of a secret anymore, but I did teach a sniper course in May and June in Okinawa, Japan, where it rained every single day. Like it never stopped. I usually like rain, but I did not enjoy this. And as much as there weren't any indicators, I mean, you couldn't see where the bullet was impacting. You had no dust to go off of because there's no dust, right? The only thing you had to go off of is which way the rain was falling. And that was enough to help you. So make sure you guys are paying attention to any little indicator out there that can give you a leg up on what the wind is doing.
Mhm. Makes sense.
Does it?
It does.
We'll see if we put it to sense.
All right. Well, I can't wait to hear about tomorrow. I know you guys are going to do well. I know it's getting late over there for you guys. Time to unwind, get your gear set up if you haven't already done it, and just get ready for that final day. But I'm excited for it. Happy for you guys doing well. Every year, you guys improve, and that's all we're really looking for, right? It's just every year to get better. And I think you guys are right where you need to be. So until tomorrow, I'll be thinking about how you guys are preparing, things that are going through your mind, wishing I was there, and we will update everybody as soon as you're done.
All right. Mahalo.
I appreciate you guys taking the time out, and I will catch you mañana when it's all done.
All right. Good night.
Later.
Bye.
All right.